Oh my goodness. Here we go. Hey, everybody out there. I am your host. That's right, Jessica Koch, and we are back. And this is Profound Professionals. It is an interview series that has been coming to you for, oh my goodness, 10 years now. We have interviewed over 1,000 guests from all over the planet, and they help improve your personal life and they help you grow your business. Today is no different. We have an amazing guest for you that is going to help you in so many ways. All right, so today we have Preeti. And Preeti helps a brilliant, exhausted, ever feel that way someday? Founders move through the chaos to calm by building businesses that finally support their life. Sometimes it feels like as a business owner, we are working for the business and the business is not working for us. And so I love that you stated that in that manner. So, welcome, Preeti. Tell us a little bit about how this became your journey and what you focused on to help people.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. So I would say like my journey, like maybe unknowingly started even when I was a child because my dad was a solopreneur and like probably we never used the word solopreneur back then, but then I did see my dad go through, and he had a home office, so we seen him go through like all the physical, the mental, the all of that pressure that comes along with being a solopreneur, doing everything yourself. So I think in a way, I did grow up within that entrepreneurial frame within my house, and whenever there was like any big order or something to be done and executed, my mother would step in when she was available. She would step in to do some admin work or the taxation and things when she had the time, because she was also employed full time. She was a school teacher. So, and it was, I've seen all of those juggling different roles, trying to keep them all afloat by balancing things without it affecting you or your family. So, and I think even when I was probably like grade 5, 6 or 7, I had already also started stepping in. I used to take calls for him, or like if somebody asked for an order status, I would look it up in the book and inform people. So I think back then for my dad there was no defined system or a defined support framework, but then I think like most family businesses, your family becomes your support even in the business. So it was like that. And then like growing up, my career took me into like, so I did my MBA in HR. My career took me into the corporate world in HR and operations. And later, after I had my son, I moved in more into the executive support role to CEOs. But then, and I think that also helped me because it gave me like an up close personal view of how the leadership things and how they do their things, right? And also, some of them were like startups and smaller organizations where even though they had a team, it was still the founder holding everything together, right? So
Mhm.
I think all of that kind of influence or have an influence on what I do today, and the way I see and understand entrepreneurship came from there.
Oh, I think that's a very beautiful story. Now, when you're working with clients now, we've already kind of just defined who really comes and seeks you. They're feeling frustrated and exhausted. And um, is there certain types of industries or give us a little more information about the customer that you were working with that um, has had the most benefit with you?
So I would say it hasn't been industry specific, but
Mm,
somehow most of my clients today, or the clients I've had, have always been women solopreneurs. Somehow maybe they connect better with me, or there's something there. And in terms of, so for me, my ideal client is not determined by the industry, but it's more by where they are in their entrepreneurial journey, more so because they should already have a business in place
mm,
and should have like at least come to a point where they have scaled, where they are starting to feel that weight of the growth, right? You're growing, you have a lot of business, you have new clients coming in every day, but then at the end of the day, you're exhausted and you're like, you've actually worked probably a 8 hour, 9 hour day, but at the end of the day, you have that feeling that, oh, I haven't accomplished anything.
Mm,
So that at that stage is where I usually uh, come in. And for me, like, I think it starts basically with that mindset and clarity. I would say clarity in terms of identifying what is truly yours to do and which are the things you can let go or you should let go. And the second thing is also in the mindset, because when we create our business as founders, we start doing everything ourselves, and we somehow think or come to that conclusion that nobody else can do it the way I do it. Only if I do this will be perfect. If somebody else gets it, or something will go wrong. So that letting go of that false sense of perfection, I
mhm.
start there.
Okay. When you're working with people, how is it they first enter the journey, the customer journey with you? Do you have, a workshop? Are you meeting people networking? Are you, what's the kind of open first step where they meet you when they're coming to meet you?
So I think I've had a mix. So I've had people. So that's how I initially started. My initial clients all came from referrals. So it's either referrals, and then yes, there are people I have met at networking events, and now over the last about 6 to 8 months, I've also started putting myself out there in like speaking engagement summits and like in person or virtual conferences and summits. So sometimes I get people reaching out to me from there, and
Mm-hmm.
I also do have a monthly, it's more like a masterclass and advisory board kind of thing for entrepreneurs. It's a free monthly event that I run the last Friday of every month, where basically you can just come, and like it's more of a judgment free, free to speak, advisory style meeting, where you can either come in with a business problem or something that you have now currently which we can help, or it can even be a place where you just need empathetic people to listen to your problem. And sometimes with entrepreneurship, and especially if you're a solopreneur, it does get lonely there because you're the only one doing everything yourself, your own, it's your decisions, your, the goods are yours, the bads are yours, everything is yours. And that um, so it kind of is a space for you to come, relax, breathe, talk to other people like you.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think that's a great entry point for someone to come and find you. What's another way, your best social media spot or your website, another way for them to maybe have a discovery? If they listen to this and they think, oh, I don't want to wait till the last Friday of the month to meet her, I want to have a conversation or have a chat. What's their first step?
So I'm most active on LinkedIn, so they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm always posting either some newsletter or some tips and tricks, or like talking about some of those common entrepreneur problems that they have. So they can find me on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's the easiest spot. And my LinkedIn also does have a link to my scheduling link is there, so they can schedule, yeah, schedule a clarity call with me from there if they want to.
Now, is your LinkedIn name your full name as we see it on
Yes,
the screen?
yes.
So probably you're the only one in all of LinkedIn that I know this name.
Yeah, probably if
Uh,
you, I'm sure if you search Preeti Balasubramanian in Toronto, I think I might be the only one.
That's wonderful. And then what's your website? Did you say your website?
So my website's called Wonder, but the E instead of the E, it's a three, so it's the WND3R dot online. And
So the number three.
yeah, the number three instead of
Hmm.
that with E. So it's
That's
Wonder online with the three instead of the E.
okay. So WOND3R.com.
Yes, dot online.
Oh, dot online. Okay. Dot online. So that's important to remember. So wonder, and instead of the E, it's the number three, and it's dot online.
Yes,
And there they can also find your calendar link if they
yes,
would like
yes.
to book some time
Mhm.
with you. And that's a free conversation in a chat.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. All right. Well, now I want to get into some of the other fun pieces and maybe give us a tip that we can turn some of our chaos into clarity and calm.
Okay, so like I said, for me, and maybe Jessica can also add it to the show notes later, is I do have like a 15-minute CEO reset kind of thing that I have. It's a document. So it basically helps you quickly identify like just one thing, not everything that you have a problem with, but just that one thing which is taking most of your time this week.
Hmm.
And then you can figure out from that one thing, like which part of that one thing is for you to do, which you should delegate, and is there a component of it you shouldn't be doing this week at all. So it
Mm,
helps you identify that element, um, and it's like that one system or that one support which will help you in that. So it's a kind of a immediate quick fix that you can feel for yourself in terms of clarity, or it will help you with getting that little extra breathing room that is within the immediate week.
mm. I see. That's a wonderful tip. How about a nonprofit cause that's close to your heart?
So I would say, so since I'm from India, and there is an organization called Udavum Karangal. It actually means that hands of humanity, or hands that help humanity.
Mm,
And they do have like two different things. So one, they have an orphanage that helps children, and with their education, with their basic living and all of that. And they also have another one for the seniors. So it's like a senior care home too. And it is also like in my hometown in Coimbatore. So typically every year, if it's like a birthday or an anniversary or something, that's where we contribute to.
oh, I love that. That's beautiful. And the reason we do this segment since the very beginning of our show is because we really want to inspire other people to give time, treasure, or talent to something that they care about. And whether it's theirs or they hear about it for the first time from one of our guests, or, spreading awareness has its value too. Because if a cause cannot be found, then it is not receiving the resources it needs, and it's not being used by the people who need it.
Mm-hmm.
So, spreading awareness gives me a lot of excitement. So, I appreciate you sharing that. How about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
I would say, like, just a couple of years ago, I read this book called The Power Moms, written by an author named Jonna Lublin.
Mm,
And I would say, like, it kind of, I wouldn't say affected directly, but then it made a lot of sense. So it basically is a book that talks about how executives, or like women who are like the Wall Streeters, or like who are with the top companies and things, how they manage life, basically, like being a senior executive, but then you're also a mother, you're also a caregiver, you're also a spouse, you're also a daughter. So with all of those, like, so it talks about, and one thing that really struck with me from that book is it doesn't talk about work life balance,
mm,
because I understand that is you can't really always have a balance. It's not a 50-50 balance. It's more of on the day when it's required kind of a balance. So it talks, or she speaks about a term called work life sway. So you're
mm,
swaying from one to another. And
yeah.
when you're in one segment, like even if it's a given day, now you're working this 1 hour, you're 100% in your work. But
Hmm.
then the minute you then step out to maybe answer something for a child, or something there, you're that 5 minutes, you're 100% there. And this ability to sway, and one day the balance might be 50-50, one day maybe it's 70-30, because that day your business needs you 70 or your family needs you 70. So she talks about that sway, and also talks about women having a support system, or having your boundaries, learning to ask for help, learning to say no when it's needed. And I think that like resonated a lot with me.
Ah, I love that. And you've written a book. Tell us about your book.
So my business book, or the business side of things, is called the Easy Equation.
Oh.
And this is kind of the framework behind my coaching thing also is this is more like a guide, but not exactly, because and it helps you walk through the things that I said in terms of your clarity mindset, helps you identify what systems you need in your business. And also to clarify, I'd like to say like systems are not just your software programs, not just the big ones, because even documenting some a process that lives in the founder's head and creating an SOP from it is a system. So any kind of system, so it helps you identify what systems you need in your business today, and also talks about your circle of support, the human support you need, whether is it time for your first hire? Are you looking for a VA? Are you looking for a marketing person, a business manager? So it also kind of helps you through that. And it has like steps and also like ends with the whole thing, which is in the book, but then more like a checklist, which you can use to like audit your own business and be like, okay, is this there? Is this there? So is this what I should do? So it kind of walks you through step by step.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned a VA because, as you know, for 7 years, we've had a VA agency. So we believe you should have help too.
Hmm.
So whether you reach out to us or some other great resource out there, get some help. That's what I always say. It's important to have help, and it's important to have a coach and a mentor and a consultant and someone supporting them the way you're doing as well, Preeti. So thank you for that. I have had a ton of fun having you as a guest on the show, and I hope that you've had fun too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us to share with one another. So if you know someone out there who's struggling in their business, or you find that you've listened and said, oh, that's me, then reach out to Preeti and get on her calendar. And if you're out there thinking, well, wait, I can improve someone's personal life, I can help someone grow their business, I have skills and talents, I've written books, I've done great things, I've made online courses, I'm a speaker, I'm out there in the world, and I should be on Jessica's show. Well, come on. Reach out to us at Profound Professionals. We've interviewed over 1,000 guests, and we'd like to add you to the amazing people that we get to call Profound and feature here on our show. Now, before we go, I would love for you to share with us a final thought, Preeti, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
Um, okay, so I would like to say like some of those same things is most of us like get into business with because we want that freedom, we want that flexibility, but unknowingly down the line, we
Mhm.
kind of get ourselves stuck in that hamster wheel of the daily things that we have to do and which actually takes us away from why we wanted the freedom in the first place. And like for people like me and most women entrepreneurs, it's more time with family, but then you land up not having even the enough time with family because you're stuck in your
Mhm.
business and stuck in doing the daily things. So being like whether it's life or your business, I think making sure you have your priorities and that clarity straight. So whatever you do in your business or your work should be supporting that goal which you want to achieve.
Oh, I love that. Make sure you're in line with your values and your mission
Yeah.
and your life goal as well as your business goal. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it all connected.
Yeah.
Well, this has been another great show, and I thank you for your time again. I'm so glad you are here as our guest. And until next time, everybody out there, I am your host, Jessica Koch. This is Profound Professionals, and we want you to be kind, so very kind to yourself and kind